Go ahead, John.
All right. So last game, you left the sort of the town of Bralazar to head into the desert. Um, First, however, you have to pass through the mountain range, which uh, blocks you. Um, let's see here. Yes. So um, Bralazar is down here. And the first day you traveled all the way here
Well, the
and up
map's
here.
black for us. Is there a party token, John, or something?
Oh, is it? Hang on, sorry. Let me do that.
Oh,
There you
there it
go.
is.
All right. Yes. So you traveled kind of right to the base of the foothills leading into the mountains. Um, and you know it's about a let's see here. You think it's about a anywhere between a 5 to maybe a 7 mile trek through the mountains, and it looks like you'll be going uphill at a decent uh, angle.
Mhm.
Your first night mostly passed without issue, except for right before dawn. Salmon ran afoul of a dust digger after hearing some noise, and you managed collectively to sort of save him from that fate. And we left off with everyone sort of getting some rest and getting back to traveling again, assuming that you haven't changed your minds in the recent past.
No.
Nope.
So
The
I'll,
only thing I was wondering, John, is um, since we were going to rest a little bit in these hours and finish praying for our spells, after that was done, um, so Gummo he's a cartographer and he's got direction sense. He's much better at these things than I am as his player. But can I coordinate where we're at on the actual Sea of Dust map with the stylized map of the desert that we have on the back of a goat skin here? Pull out, and it's the one that has the dragon that represents the mountain range.
no, let's see here.
Okay.
Let me find that. That's not it.
I think more than one of us have direction sense, so if you want to have us all
Yeah,
throw in a roll too, it could help.
I mean I've got cartography. I'm just trying to.
I have it for sure. I
Uh,
mean,
Yeah.
if that
so,
somehow helps.
Well, let's pull it out and we'll all look at it and try and figure out where we are on
sure.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the wizard, the Grand Vizier, told you that this sort of map doesn't really come into play until you've crossed over the mountains.
Okay.
Mm,
So it's not really applicable yet.
So
Okay.
yeah, we're outside the edges of it as a puzzle piece. Wherever
Yes.
we are, we're not okay. That's why I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. So I guess we're not there yet. We'll roll it up and put it back in the um, bag of holding, I guess, wherever it is.
Okay.
Right or the,
yeah, barring some more dust digger encounters, it's to make our way through the foothills
So
here.
if you guys have any spells you want to cast before completing the rest, by all means go ahead. Salmon is the only one who's still injured.
Yeah, the thing took a toll on my morale.
I think I'm okay on that. Um,
Yeah, I don't have cast.
so you need to Read the omens.
We will. Long rest.
Let's see. Go look at the
Okay, so-
other map.
We've completed the long rest, so if anyone has anything they want to cast now, they certainly can.
I feel 1 hit point better. Good morning.
All right, so looking at the Sea of Dust map here, you are essentially from this point here, sort of entering. You continue up these hills, and it's kind of a series of switchbacks that you go up, and without that, it would be climb. However, you go up a series of switchbacks, and then you find yourselves kind of in past the foothills and in the mountains, kind of starting up the mountain range. So as you look to the north and to the east, the land in front of you slopes upwards, probably quite some way. Let's see here.
This is going to be exhausting.
Good thing we, just threw our mostly metal armor plate and things into the
Yeah.
pack.
Yes.
It should be noted that before you guys left the camp, for some reason, unbeknownst to you, the Salmon put his sword into the fire and began to pray, heating up the blade.
Okay. So, I'll mention it to you. So that's a very interesting practice. You know, I could help you with that directly. I could just heat the blade. If,
The most pure,
if you-
yeah, and he mentioned something about having to kind of under his breath a little bit about having to purify after a battle, purify weapon after a battle. And then he agreed. He said he's gracious for your offer.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So anytime I have an extra, because I don't see there's not much call for heat metal, which he
Mhm.
usually uses a lot, but so
Mhm. That's
now
a
he's got a
cool
use
spell,
for it.
by the way. Yep,
Yeah.
it's one of
Get it
those
the daily.
utility spells that have some role play value there.
Okay, so Solomon, you know that the mountain range is known locally as the Dust Wall. It's roughly 5 to 7 miles to the other side of the mountains. The trail takes you to a bit of a valley with kind of foothills made up of boulders and rocks and shale, which kind of in places has a sort of a rusty red tinge to it, similar to rocks that you guys have seen before coming to Bralazar. As you look up to the north and to the east, ahead of you, the trail winds its way through these sort of rocky and shale land. To your right and to your left, the hills and the mountains rise up quite precipitously, and you kind of all look at this and realize that if you had to climb any of these rock formations, it would be very difficult unless you have a mountaineering skill or any kind of say survival in the mountains type skill. It's definitely not something that you look forward to possibly having to do in the future. You're quite happy to stick to what appears to be not a frequently used trail, but one that's at least used often enough that it's sort of readily apparent to you. As you travel sort of northeast for maybe a little less than half a mile, you are traveling upwards at probably about a 35-degree angle. So it is it's a bit of a trek. Luckily, you have camels. You come to a place where the trail drops slightly, and of all things that you didn't expect to see here, there's actually a small stream of flowing water that comes down out of the mountains and passes on south somewhere. Let's see here.
Definitely refresh the camel and my water supply at this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me do this. This is perhaps a bit of a cruder map. In my
Very
mind.
modular. Yeah.
Go. And then continuing on, each hex is about a quarter of a mile, give or take. You come through a narrow pass, which is about a quarter of a mile or to a half mile long. To either side, you have solid walls of rock that rise up to either side of you around 300 feet, you think. And the trail goes through the narrow gorge.
Okay.
And,
Perfect place for an ambush.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
definitely
I was just
keeping an
gonna
eye out.
say, can we?
It is.
Yeah, I'm glad someone brought that up. Yeah, I was just gonna
So
say,
if
can-
anyone
I'm-
wants to take any precautions, by all means, let me know.
absolutely. I'm scanning the cliff walls. Definitely on the lookout for some type of an ambush, even a rock slide, even natural.
Okay.
Boulders
So,
or loose stones.
Exactly. So I guess I'll give you an alertness for that one.
Absolutely. Alertness or observation. Anyone who has those skills, by all means.
I didn't know there was an observation proficiency. It's interesting.
While looking for snipers, Jeremiah suddenly falls down, hits his head, and starts sounding more and more like a Texan.
All right.
And seems a bit disoriented. Doesn't know where we're going. Yeah.
Where are we now?
You guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
hear
am.
you, Roger.
Hey, good dog.
Roger, sorry.
Hey, John, is the temperature getting cooler?
What's that?
The temperature.
You're still not really at a high elevation, but as you look to the northeast, you can kind of see that the peaks of some of the mountains actually are sort of obscured by clouds, And you can see a bit of actual snow covering up high. So it may get kind of cool. It may.
Okay.
So do I see any recent signs of a rock slide, natural, rock slides here? And how's the foot traffic in this area? Does it look like anything has been passed through this, or come through this pass recently?
If anyone wants to give me a tracking roll in the tower, we could.
That's right, we got a ranger.
Nosing around.
Trail signs is a useful skill as well.
Yeah, I dropped that in there. I didn't know if it was appropriate or not. I have trail signs and trail markings. Let me read more about those here. This is funny. It's built almost like a ranger. This spider thief.
Yeah. So Jeremiah and Salman, neither of you see anything that looks unnatural. Salman, there are no readily apparent markings that would mark that would denote any kind of issues of concern to watch out for. Of course, that doesn't mean that there aren't any, but just that you don't see any of the markings. Jeremiah, as you go along, you can see tracks are kind of are difficult because you're walking, on loose stone, from sort of one patch of loose stone to the other, really. However, what you do make out sort of leads you to believe that the gorge at least does see some travel. Anything recent that you find looks more like animal traffic rather than anyone traveling on foot or on horseback or on camel.
Interesting. So not camel, like wild animal, like.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you mentioned I do know this area as the Dust Wall, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Would I know of any, how do I put this? Do I know of any unfortunate occurrences in the area or legends of bandits, creatures roaming the hills, the local horror stories?
So you do
regarding
know
this
that
area?
in the past there have been issues with travelers dealing with, I guess you could call them bandits, but you could also call them tribesmen from the various tribes that eke out an existence in the desert.
Okay, so I'll inform
There have been problems in the
disappearances.
past.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, I'll relay that information to the party to be on their lookout. People have gone missing in these hills.
All right.
I'll definitely be keeping my eye scanning the horizon.
And let's see here.
Would also inform people just to keep a low profile.
Sounds good to me.
So as you travel on farther, you come to the first switchback. You can actually see that to the north. Well, you can actually see that. So to the north and the northeast is sort of the edge of what Salman knows as as the sort of the dust wall. That is an area of land where, in addition to sort of the boulders and the rocks and the loose shale and everything that you've been walking in up the hill, the all of that is kind of mixed in a finish powdery stone that it kind of like a grayish red, sort of orangey brown grayish, almost like a chalk dust, or lye type of consistency. And Solomon, you know that those areas are passable, but that people doing so need to take special precautions because there's a thing known as dust cough, and people can be sick for a significant amount of time if they kind of walk through that stuff and just kind of breathe it in freely.
So coming down into the aptly named dust wall, it behooves us to be wearing something over our nose and mouths, not to inhale this. And this is an area down. This is coming down the foothills right here.
Oh, you're going up.
Still going up. Okay. And all right, what's creating all the dust? Is it just from the winds blowing things up and it's like loose shell and everything on the ground?
As far as is known, this is a leftover phenomenon from the Invoked devastation many years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Right, we're in the sea of dust.
A side effect of the great magics that were unleashed that basically turned the area from
right
a great civilization into desolate desert.
Yeah. I don't know why my brain stopped where I was typing something else. Okay, so I'll just inform don't breathe. I'll inform the party. If you have a scarf, any type of covering, put it on. Do not breathe this stuff in. Can create great sickness. And I definitely am going to wrap. I believe I have a sash. I'll wrap the sash. I'm going to put my sun goggles on and then wrap the sash over my face, covering my nose and mouth.
Yeah, we picked up some of the local headgear while we were there.
Absolutely. Yeah, everyone's got something.
Nice.
Does it help put a little water on it? So
That'd be
I'll do
good.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, all right. So we are now entering.
Hey Solomon, do you have any idea what type of creatures we might encounter in the mountain area here?
Yeah, well, I can tell you about one that almost killed me a few days ago. But other than that, I almost got eaten by one. What other creatures would I know about in this area, John? That would, mountain. They, make their homes in mountains rather than the plains. Is there anything special that would live up in these type of ranges here in the Sea of Death?
There are dust devils that you need to be worried about. Sorts animals. Believe it or not, they're somewhere in the mountains. There's a big colony of giant tarantulas, which occasionally hunt. But those are more of a problem at night. There are hyenas, giant rats, the sort of the dust diggers, and there is even some kind of a nobody really knows what they are, but they have humanoid shape, and they kind of seem to be um, uh, made up of sand or dust, and they sort of blend in, and um,
Hard to detect.
they always sort of get the drop on people because they blend in perfectly with their surroundings.
Hmm.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was obviously relayed to everybody. Um, yeah, I'd
So I guess we'll
recommend.
pull out our
we-
sun goggles too. Is it
Correct.
necessary to do that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still pretty sunny.
Yep.
So you continue.
I was
your
actually
travel
typing
on.
that as we were.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do the same.
I was looking for the
Thank you.
headgear too. I'm terrible at multitasking.
Okay. Problem. Let's see.
So yeah, we have a pretty good watch situation here, doing it in turns. So if the if spiders are our arachnid friends up here in the mountains are nocturnal, maybe we should instead of 2 by 2, we should do 3 by 3 watches. Just in
Sure. So let's
case. It
see.
took a while, and it would probably also behoove us not to have one guy wander off by himself a couple 100 yards away from the party and almost get
Yeah,
killed by the
something
time we
else.
could get him.
If something happens, if something happens, you should wake the party up.
Yeah, the problem was that I wandered up onto a plateau with Gummo, and then got about, I'd say, 150 yards away from him before I could scream out in horror.
Uh,
So then everybody had to run around, up the plateau. I think it took about 2 rounds for everybody to get up there
Yeah.
with me.
Okay, so you travel another few miles, and at this point, you're kind of like you think it's about midday. So the going is a lot slower um, when you're going up the hill. And if any of you uh, have, let's see here, uh, I guess distance sense or
Yeah.
Yep.
or Gummo, you could give me a D10.
A D10.
Yeah.
Distance, you say? I'll give you one too, just in
Yeah,
case.
distance sense, direction
And
sense.
direction, I'll give you both of those.
Yeah. Do you want me to? I can throw the actual check, which is on a 20 for distance sense.
Yeah.
There's a distance sense check.
So, sort of conferring with each other. Salmon, Moss, and Jeremiah kind of feel like by this point, the air is something that none of you thought you would ever feel again, and that is starting to cool down at midday.
God.
You feel like you have probably over the 4 or 5 miles that you've traversed up this trail, you've probably um, uh, gone up in elevation significantly. At least maybe 4,000 feet. It's a significant climb. In fact, and you get to another sort of cleft where the nearby walls rise up to either side. At this point, you can see that the trail begins to climb more steeply, even than you've gone so far.
Okay, I'm gonna get off and start walking the camel, because I don't want to kill these animals with exhaustion, so I'll pick a turn.
Quick question:
Yes.
How long are we expecting to stay at these elevations? This is very comfortable for Gummo. He's a mountain dwarf, and he's finally feeling cool enough. He's wondering,
How far
should
of
I
the peak?
switch to my plate mail? You know,
How far to the peak too?
Yeah,
You
you
see the
think
peak?
it might be another mile or two.
Oh. How long we been traveling since daybreak? So now?
It would be you probably early afternoon at this point.
Okay, so we've been traveling for about 4 or 5 hours. You'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been able to make a good time to this point.
Yeah, and it's about to get steep.
Yes.
I would say, what do you, I mean,
that's
your
that's
guys
I'll
call
slow
it?
out. Well, because we're probably going to come back down the other side just as quick. Right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So Gummo, like you're kind of in your environment here, and the fact that the heat has sort of been cut a bit helps you quite a bit.
Great.
You could certainly be excused for thinking about donning your real armor.
Mhm.
If you wanted to. It would take a little bit of time.
Well, if he's going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing.
Okay,
Oh, you can do it. Yeah.
sure. So a bit of a break. Are you taking any precautions while you do so?
We need
I'm
to.
definitely always, whatever you need that, I'm always on the lookout for something weird.
Okay.
So I can give you another, since this is a completely different time frame right here, I'll give you another check. I was hoping he had danger sense on this guy, but
Okay.
alertness is good enough.
While he's doing that,
Go
I think
ahead
I'm
and
going
change
to
into my
cast
plate mail. All right.
animal friendship here.
What was that?
While you guys are changing armor, I'm going to try to become friends with another camel here by casting animal.
Gotcha.
If you
Friendship.
make mine more friendly.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Yeah.
cast it before, so now I can consider 2 of them friendly to me out of the however many we have.
hmm
Okay, you got one each, so there's 9.
All right, so 2 out of 9 are now friendly.
Sure. So, with the exception of Moss and Banithor, everyone else could give me a riding land-based roll in the tower, please.
hmm
And if you don't have it, John,
Well, then you have a difficult a difficult morning and a more difficult afternoon ahead of you.
Yeah. You either know how to
Easy.
ride or you
Okay.
don't.
Some of us were going to double up, right? So I don't mind being on the back of. I do not have riding, so I wouldn't mind being on the back.
Torp is heavy, man. And plate, I'm gonna wear my camel out. You can get on the back of mine. I'd say that we don't wear them out too much though.
Yeah, I mean,
You're in
some of them
full
are probably
plate? Are
carrying
you wearing
quite a lot
plate?
of gear. I am.
Are you
I will
wearing-
be now. I was wearing
Okay.
brigandine earlier,
Right.
right?
Right.
Well,
That's right.
and kind of we're at below 4,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Switch to brigandine.
Oh yeah, no, it's a smart move.
I'm just looking,
Especially when you got
for-
arrows knocked at you from the hillsides. Definitely rather be in plate.
Okay. Yeah, let's see here.
Let's switch this music here.
Just trying to find a description of the sort of the cleft that yes. So looking to the north, the trail begins to climb more steeply. Those of you with mountaineering experience or survival, like Gummo, and I think there's at least one other person that has mountaineering. You recognize that the next 2 miles or so are likely to be the most difficult part of your journey. You are nearing the summit, or at least something approximating the summit for the section of the mountain that contains the trail that you're using. Regardless of that, to the right and to the left of the trail, sort of the dust wall and the mountains still rise up many hundreds, perhaps 1,000 plus feet above, making it quite an inhospitable place. The stream that you have seen many times throughout the day continues to sort of nicely kind of burble down the side. It runs a bit faster here from before. You all know that this water is cold, crisp, refreshing, and you think quite clean considering the circumstances.
Definitely refresh before we move on.
It's
Right.
It's kind
Angle
of
of descent. What's the angle of descent? We're still proceeding up.
ascent is going to be quite a bit. It's going to be at least 45 degrees.
All right,
Okay,
I mean, if it gets worse than that, I'd suggest that we at least we take the necessary precautions. Maybe tie some of each other off. Go single file. I'm not an expert in climbing, so if someone has mountaineering or whatever, maybe they could take the lead.
Got some rope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got rope.
I got
But definitely,
mountaineering
I don't-
skill.
Great, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody that knows what they're doing should be up in front, directing the rest of the party for sure.
I'll try to be in the middle, so I'm trying to hold.
Hey, John, does
Mhm.
it seem like it's getting much windier?
I would say that there is a bit more of a breeze, yes, and the air is cool. Like I said, it's sort of it's cooling down, and you can kind of see that it's likely to cool down even more as you move farther north.
Wait, it says it's so steep and narrow in this cleft that the steps have been carved in the rock to allow the climber a safe footing.
That would
So,
include camels, right?
yeah, so this is man-made then. This cleft right here,
This
man-made.
portion, it does show signs of having been worked. So don't think of these steps as steps. Think of them more as kind of large slabs of rock that
Got you.
have been kind of flattened and sort of smoothed out a bit. So, I mean, each slab is big enough for a camel and a couple of people on it.
Right. That
And
makes
then,
sense.
the step up to the next one is maybe a couple of feet as opposed to something that's going to be much more difficult. So
Okay.
it's,
I mean, they had to make something to get through the mountains, so it makes
Yes.
sense. This is the main path through, so.
absolutely. Let's see. And as you start to go through, let's see here. So you're in the cleft. Is the marching order in the party sheet accurate?
Let me see. What did the,
Sheet. Order.
I think we'll gain a third of our travel time if I'm in front leading the
Do
party.
we need to be single file now, or
a third of the, say again? Third of travel time if,
Yeah,
if you're
we'll
leading?
travel an extra third
Kinda
of
like-
our travel time if I lead the party.
there you go. This
do we need to be in
lies-
single file because of the
Might be smart.
arrow pass?
I would say single file. I'll get
Check the party sheet.
I'll be up near the front. Let's say that formation looks. I'll be up near the front to help and assist because
Pretty good.
he's
I
got
guess.
some good trail and
Yeah, and
Ah.
if you're going to be up front, Jeremiah will just kind of pass along and try to coax these camels up the mountain.
I think
That'd be
someone
great.
cleared the party sheet.
I did.
it's all right. Oh, that's all
Apologies.
right. We got it. We'll get it. Okay.
We got our rope out, I guess, so that we could
I sure
get
hope we
everything.
bought some.
Something
Uh,
like
Yeah. Out of curiosity, do we have what is it called? My brain just went completely blank.
What does it do?
It's for climbing. You hammer them into the ground.
Icons?
You-
Like,
Icons?
yeah,
Batons.
Batons?
Batons, yeah. Do we have batons and any type of climbing gear whatsoever? In case we need one guy to get up to the top of something and then rope it off so we can Yeah.
No gear, but I did inherit a potion of climbing.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Well, that'll do it. So we'll spider climb and any other thing that allows us to ascend steep.
Indeed. Moss. Oh, hang on a second, everyone. I just need like 30 seconds.
Not a problem. Very atmospheric mountain climb here.
I'm getting the whole 3-hour tour vibe.
Mm-hmm. Always a good game.
well, there's like this giant next number 4 right next to us. It's like, all right,
Yeah, just a channel
that's all right.
marker.
I hope I'd rather find it than not find it.
I love these hex crawls, especially on the old modules.
All right, back.
So
Um,
Gutog will keep an eye out for flying creatures as much as he can. Beautiful.
yeah, because maybe we could capture some if there are indigenous like hippogriffs or anything that we could
Yep.
fly over this place and
All right.
Yeah.
charm them.
Sorry about that. This is the time of the evening where my mom comes and talks to me.
Okay.
No worries.
Good.
So Moss, Jeremiah, and Salmon. If you three could roll, if you have alertness, you can roll alertness. If you have observation, you could roll that. Failing those two, give me a surprise roll on the tower.
Okay.
It'll have to be that.
I can give you a surprise too, just so we don't have to wait on it. I'll give you both. Should have rolled that in the tower. I always do that with surprise
Okay.
for some reason.
Moss and Jeremiah, you as you sort of navigate these big step-like rock formations up, you see something that you never thought you would see. You see coming down towards you is
One-eyed,
a group of
flying.
6 people.
Oh.
The Moss, your half elven sight makes out two males, say probably in their late teens, a middle-aged man and a woman, probably say maybe in their mid-30s, and being helped by the first 4 would be a very old man and an old woman, and all 6 of these people are sort of making their way down the slope slowly. The old people are being helped by the younger ones. They wear clothing that you would consider to be somewhat threadbare and borderline unsuitable for the temperature and the weather.
Mm-hmm.
They look on the thin side. The 2 youngest carry sort of crude packs on their backs, and most of them have a long sort of walking staff to help balance themselves with.
Gotcha, John. Is there going to be a problem with them passing us, or are we going to be like jammed into the
It will
sections?
be probably. I mean, it'll be a little tight, but there's no possibility of them passing you without seeing you, and vice versa. Like,
Oh, okay.
What throws me off is that they're inappropriately dressed. I mean, anybody accustomed to this area would know to wear the right type of clothing. I mean, we literally came here, went to a village, and were smart enough to know to disarm or unequipped our armor. So, I mean, do they look like the indigenous people of this area, or do they look like like something else, some other race? Can we see from this distance?
Salman, give me an intelligence or a wisdom roll in the tower.
Okay.
It could be refugees or just
Yeah.
slaves.
Yeah. Or slaves, or who we don't know yet. Yeah.
Feed them, pretty easily.
Yeah, if someone has a crate, food and water.
Salman, they look like sort of indigenous tribes people that do live on the north side of the dust wall.
Mm-hmm. I wonder where they're
They,
dressed. So when you say dress, like kind of not appropriate to the environment, you mean just they're pretty ragtag? Like are they carrying everything on their backs? Looks like they're just ill-equipped.
you think they're probably carrying everything they own.
Okay. Now it's starting to form a picture here. Okay.
Refugees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far off are they from us?
Probably about 100 yards or so, maybe 150.
Okay.
Okay, well, we don't want them to appear, scared of us or anything. So I guess we just keep continuing and say hello.
Yep.
And when we get near them, maybe offer them some food
Water.
and water.
Yeah. Concur.
Maybe
So
hop
we'll
off
approach
when we
with-
get closer.
Right. Approaching with smiles and raised hands, greetings.
Hail
Fear
them,
not.
offer them water.
Yep.
I got a pretty good charisma. Maybe I should try to woo them or something. I
Go
don't know.
for it.
Yeah, Salmon's not very likable guy, so I wouldn't really put him in charge of this.
So the middle-aged man um, sort of steps in front of the others, and he kind of brandishes his walking staff, sort of in a defensive manner. As you guys get closer, he does say something from a distance of say 40 or 50 feet, shouting it. It is in a dialect that most of you do not have never heard before.
What about
Is
Salmon?
anybody?
Yeah,
Oh,
okay, I see how it works now. Okay. So essentially this is exactly what he's saying actually is "Oh travelers, a rarity in the dust wall."
Yes.
So I can
Okay.
communicate. I
Please,
can
yeah,
communicate with them.
greet him back and let's offer
Yeah,
hospitality.
so
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately Salmon's not very good at talking with people, but I'll do the best I can to placate their any fears they might have, and I'll offer them food and water.
Yep.
He's asking us if we are be heading toward the vast waste. Yes, I can. Yes, we are. Is this Backlanish? Yeah.
No, he's speaking a dialect of steppe nomad.
Gotcha. I see it. I didn't scroll down. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just for the sake of so everybody can see this, I'll just type in the reply. So okay. Of course, I'm speaking in Deep Nomad.
He continues. He gestures as he's speaking, um, back over his shoulder towards the two elderly people.
Mhm. They're asking for healing. They're two elderly, sick people in back of this group of refugees, and they apparently need help.
I could give them a couple heals. I don't
Yeah.
have.
Start with a like a curious.
Sure.
You I so I'm okay. So
I'll give them a couple heals, one each, I guess. One for
Okay.
grandma, one for grandpa.
So I'll beckon them forward. I'll beckon them forward and lead them in the direction of the
what should
pharmacy
we
dealers.
break bread with them? Is there anything we might want to know about the trail ahead that we could?
Yeah, that's a
Learn.
great
Yeah, I mean,
idea.
I'd love to. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody want to ask those questions? I'll translate.
Okay.
I wouldn't leave it to Salmon.
Yes. Uh, yeah, indeed, it is a blessing to meet anyone. To meet another in the travels through these often harsh lands, right? Um,
So
uh,
Moss, the guy gestures them forward a bit, and the two younger teenagers sort of help them come forward, and they sort of as you step forward, they kind of for momentarily sort of involuntarily take a step back from you as you raise your hands, but as you start casting your spells, they sort of visibly relax and have a bit of a hopeful look on their faces.
let's ask them how did they get this way? I mean, right? How did they
Yeah, just
become sick or injured?
right.
Right.
Just assume that anything that anybody's asking is being translated.
Yeah, I guess we asked them what happened, what brought them to this. level, then why are they fleeing the north?
So brought you to this pass, yeah. Since we were literally meeting in a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who has the healing skill can give me a roll in the tower.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Right. Healing
I'm sorry,
skill.
John. I didn't see that you had typed in there, John. I apologize.
That's okay.
It says, "The north of Dose Wall be hard living. Say be old." So he's just saying the elements, the natural elements of the area have just worn down the party,
Oh, yeah.
especially the old.
Okay, so Moss, as you're casting your spell and kind of observing the two of them, and Gummo as well, sort of from a bit of a distance. The old people, you can tell that their stomachs are swollen. At a bit of an unnatural sort of size and shape, quite
Yeah,
round.
Right.
It's distinctly different from the rest of their bodies, which are sort of thin and wiry.
Talking about like severe malnutrition or something.
In other words,
Yeah.
I think they're starving, right?
Extended,
That's like-
yeah. It's Somalia. I mean, literally, yeah, it's terrible. So just tell them
Yeah.
to drink water gingerly and take the food slow but steadily over time. I'd say, how many rations do we have on us?
Well, I mean, I could create food and water, and
That's
we
right.
we can all eat together, including them and us,
That's
and
a great idea.
enjoy this, and then we don't have to take anything from our rations. So I will do
Correct.
that. Okay.
I'm just thinking that maybe we should obviously they haven't been fending very well on their own. Maybe we should offer them,
Send them off with some, yeah.
send them off with some.
Right,
I think we packed. Actually, we loaded up on rations. Even though you could create food and water, we actually
Yeah, we did.
we loaded up.
It's always
We have
safe.
tons. Yeah, we have tons.
So first of all, we'll
Say offer them a week.
Oh,
at least give them a day, right? We only been
there's
traveling
only
about
four
a
of
day.
them.
They can get down to the base of the mountains by then.
I thought we had like 4 weeks.
Let's find out where they're going
Okay.
and where they came from, and let's get their whole story.
So-
And
So they're speaking up. So they're saying we're going to the city to find place, to live in peace. Essentially, in other words, they're going to the city to live in peace. Probably the same city in which we just came from.
probably
Okay.
we should ask what took their peace away, or yeah.
What forced you to leave your home?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful font, by the way. Whoever worked on these fonts, man, they sure did a good job. Not force, hope, better, live for sons and parents.
Okay.
Not
So,
force, hope, better, live for sons and parents. Okay.
they're immigrants looking for opportunity, right? Is that
Yep.
okay?
Took me a minute right there to understand that live equated to life.
I can afford to. Generous.
So, Gummo, you're creating food and water. As First of all, their eyes go wide as they see Gummo standing there, and they kind of they stare. They just kind of their mouths are open and they just stare. Perhaps they've never seen a dwarf before.
Yeah. Gummo
Uh,
looks forward internally to being woven into their future legends. You know, the magical dwarf creature that
As you,
Big Macs.
they watch you intently as you start casting your spell, and once the food and the drink appears, they kind of look uncertainly at Gummo and at Solomon, and then back to the food.
Well, I'll grab a big loaf or however the mana comes in chunked and tear off a piece and pass it to the other party members, Salmon and Banithorn Gutag, right? You know, we'll pass it around and then pass it to them, and I'll eat some, like while looking at them to show them it's okay.
Yeah, I'll eat
But
some
yeah,
too.
basically the rule.
Yeah.
Is,
Okay.
I mean, it's not tasty, but it fills the void kind of thing. And as they see that you're all eating, they start to eat and they kind of sit down on the stone slab, and they all start talking amongst themselves so quickly that Salmon, you can't really make out anything of what they're saying. You think they, in fact, that they may have actually switched to a different language that you have no knowledge of.
Mm-hmm. I put my hand on Gummo and said, "It is your slave that fascinates them.
Yeah.
They have not
Yes,
seen
I see
dwarves
that.
before in these lands, especially dwarves that can weave magic from their hands and bring food out of thin air."
It's like, they should know all dwarves can weave magic. Wink at you.
Dwarves are magical.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know,
Um,
as
so-
we eat and give them a
let's
chance to, see what they
So-
know about the path.
You spend about an hour here through all said and told. Boss, you're you kind of feel like perhaps the older two. There's perhaps something a little bit more wrong with them than simple malnutrition and advanced age.
I got it.
You think that they may be they may have something sort of additional wrong with them.
So have they already traveled through the dust wall? That's where I keep getting fuzzy. Or have we passed the dust wall? Are we in the dust wall?
No, you're in the dust wall still.
Okay.
They
And
have come from the north of the dust
Okay.
wall.
okay. So they haven't passed through it yet. And they're just starting. Okay, so whatever they have. I was gonna
Well-
say maybe they breathed in the scrap.
Well, I guess I want to inform them that their stomachs, there's something very wrong with them. They should see a healer when they get to the city, and I offer them some coin to do so, just in case they're broke.
They got the stented bellies from malnutrition and
Well,
dehydration.
there's something else.
Something else besides that?
It
Okay.
looks that way. So I guess I toss my spare coin at them, like 4 silver, 4 copper.
Nice.
That ought to do it. Yeah, that'll do it.
It's a little, but you mean a little bit.
No,
more.
that's good. Always happy to help out the refugees.
Okay.
Being a traveler myself, wanderer, they should take it well. At least I think.
Hmm.
Heck, I'll even give them another gold because, well, I don't like carrying coins anyway. I jingle too much.
Yeah, they do. I had loose change in the pocket. Getting that encumbrance up.
Good tag. You actually think that something like if any of you who have clerical magic had any kind of a cure disease spell handy, that might be of great assistance. you recall Guntag especially. You recall seeing the elders of your people kind of looking similar in the jungles. If
have
they
like
ingested unclean water or perhaps tainted food.
yeah, they have like typhus or something. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that memorized.
Yeah, same here.
I think that's
Yeah.
a fourth level for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit advanced probably. I mean, okay, so they're about a day and a half. I'm sure they can make it down the mountain and to the city. And
Well, I
with
do
that
have
amount,
it, but I don't have it memorized.
how much does that usually cost from a healer to get that uh,
Get a
to get that
disease cure.
service?
It would be
Yeah.
infinitely more than whatever they have.
Wonderful. Okay.
But you can tell that the thought of it is kind of like a hope that is driving them on.
Mm,
You guys want to do a
Well,
long rest to?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let me check to make sure I can actually. I need to see if I've even got it.
My
Yeah,
alignment.
make sure you
Third
at least
level for
have
me.
2 of them.
My alignment.
I do. Yeah, I could.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, Selman, he didn't look happy about it, but you can see there's a little bit of sympathy in his eyes, and he's fine. I mean, he kind of assumes that's what what a few of the party members are thinking, and just goes along with it.
Okay. So yeah. So you guys are
We could make camp here. I mean, have like at least, it'd be cool. We could
Why not?
maybe tell stories, or hear about what's on the other side of the
Really, what I would like
mountains.
to do, even.
Yeah, we might
Well,
find,
if nothing else, we could
breaking bread
protect
with
them.
them overnight. We might, learn something valuable too. So it's a win-win. We get to rest up here. It's cooler right here too.
okay. Let's see here.
I have a feeling we're gonna need it in the coming days.
Do they know anything? Are there any
Road ahead, right?
dangers around?
Mhm. Yeah, okay, so one of the elders says, "'Tis a cave up the path, perhaps a mile or so away." Okay, well that's great to know. Robbers are about.
Aha.
Yeah.
So we're
I
right
mean,
at the doorstep of the robbers.
which
Or,
makes things interesting because at night we're gonna have a fire up, could draw them in. The
Well, why don't we
ambush.
just go to them now? And I guess we have to stash our nomads, right?
So you want to make base camp here and scout ahead. And
Yeah,
try
if
to
they know where it
see
is,
what- Right.
should we
yeah, I don't want those people
Go
disappearing with the camels.
ambush? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too. I mean, would they try to
More
steal
information.
our stuff? I think.
What else do they say, Salman? They yeah. Looks like they're
He says
getting
that
animated here.
if my parents could ride a camel, we could get you to the cave quickly.
They're saying that parents know it.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. If
In other
my
words,
parents could ride
oh,
on
because
camel.
they're traveling slow because they're sick. So they're saying, hey, if you could put them on one of the camels we have, then they could take us
Yeah.
to the cave quickly. Why not?
Mm.
Y'all want to go beat on the bandits? Hopefully
Yeah,
they don't
sure.
beat on us.
I got 2, friendly
I'm always
camels
for
me,
killing
so
bandits, dude. You don't
I
even need
guess we
to
could put them
ask.
on those camels.
Do it. I'm okay
Go
with
off of
whatever you
mine
guys
and-
want to do.
Yeah, because we could have a vote.
Jeremiah's thumbs up in it.
Yep.
Let's throw a vote in there. I'll just
I don't even know how to.
Do bandits?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Makes it so much
Sure.
easier.
Yeah, we-
Yeah, it looks like it's a unanimous decision there. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Or head to the cave, I guess.
Who didn't vote?
Oh,
No. The island I did vote. Island Eyes. Yeah.
So you do you let them use one of your camels and keep heading up?
yeah, I can walk
Yeah,
that,
to the cave a mile off.
if you ever find it.
Yeah. And then when we get near, tell them when we get near enough, that we want to send a scout ahead. Right.
Oh.
Right.
Ranger, thief, scout.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
you go north here. So about another half a mile.
Okay.
And they tell you that the cave is about another half a mile ahead, on the left-hand side of the trail. You pass sort of a you pass an area where you have found the source of the little stream that has been flowing downhill. There is a small spring bubbles forth amidst the rocks into an irregularly shaped pool about 4 feet across, and then the water sort of overflows and has made its path down the side of the mountain range.
I guess their mounts might want a drink.
To
Definitely.
around the pool, for about 5 or 6 feet in each direction, are tiny purple and white flowers, as well as the occasional larger red flower, and a small selection of white lilies.
I'm going to take a handful of all of these.
Does Gummo recognize the purple or red flowers? I can certainly see the white lilies.
I could tell you what they are.
Okay.
I can recognize anything, really.
Nice.
Sure, they're pretty normal flowers from where you come from, but here they're obviously
Rare.
Out of the ordinary.
You think
Out
I
of
could
the
whip
order.
something up to help these old people for something really quick?
You don't think that the flowers would do anything?
Oh, well.
But can I do an herbalism check to see if I have any herbs that might be like anti parasitic? So I do have herbs.
Sure.
Okay, and here we go. Whoops, skills, herbal. Here we go. Could I make them something?
You do not.
Okay.
You do not. So they've told you that the cave is about half a mile ahead. You're just a solid, a steep uphill climb at this point.
Okay.
So, yeah, this I guess would be where we would leave the nomads, and do we need to? Should we take the young men with us?
Nah.
Are they suit? Are they?
The reason
Nah.
why is I'm not so sure I want to leave all of our gear and camels down here half a mile away from where we are.
Let's ask them and make sure. It's like you wish us to rid the area of these bandits. Are you willing to help us?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, did he say? I mean, they said there was a cave, but they also said there was robbers nearby. I didn't directly say the cave was full of bandits. I mean, you could put two and two together for sure, but
I guess
Yeah.
we could ask them.
I'm not quite sure what we might. Yeah, the only thing I would say, and I'm okay with doing whatever you guys want to do and scouting ahead as well with whoever else, but is that we should at least take one of them with us. Their strongest fighter, who's not going to be very tough. He can stay in the back.
Well, we could just leave someone behind. Well, you guys check out the cave.
One of the nomads speaks up. He says, "Robbers are only interested in small numbers of travelers. You are too much for them."
Well, then maybe we should just let
Well, with
these
that
people
being
go
said, I
and-
mean, would they even screw with us at night? You know what I mean? If we were to, we're too much for them. That's what they think.
Hmm?
Now there's double of us because we're with refugees as well. Would they even bother trying to come after us?
Right.
I up to you guys. I'm all for scouting out the cave.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
I think
wiping
go
them
check
out.
out the cave.
I think
don't
we should
like
just let these
bandits.
people go on their way, and we take the camels with us to the cave.
That's an idea. Yeah, if we could definitely do that.
Okay.
I'm
And
I'm
no
pretty
camel
confident
thieves
in her.
or anything else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
just
Let's
let us sneaky people up, a couple hundred yards ahead of, the caravan.
Yep.
Yeah. Almost
Yeah.
gonna clank with the camels.
So
Yeah.
the only thing I would say is we could tell them to wait. I mean, we could wipe whoever these guys are out, and we could come back, rest, and cure their diseases. If you guys want to do that, that was the reason why we were going to camp initially.
Oh, right.
Right.
Do you want to have a long rest then and heal these people and then go?
That would work. Yeah,
I
we
mean,
could
it's
do
a
it
nice
either
place
way.
for it.
Yep,
Okay.
let's do that. Yeah. The gnome. This what? He says tired, need to rest at cave.
Oh, they're really pushing for us to go to the cave.
Yeah, they're really pushing for us to go to that cave.
Well, right now we're at the source of the spring, right? Which seems like it would be like an ideal spot as
Mhm.
well, right? Is it not a?
Watch
sounds
these
like
It's
a
getting-
bandits.
It's getting
Sounds-
colder. You think that being outside at night will probably be not a good choice.
Then let's all head to the cave.
Let's move up as a group.
Yep.
And don't follow us.
Hey, I gotta get something ready here. I'll be right back.
No worries.
Do your thing.
Okay. So you go up this trail for about a little more than half a mile, and you come to a cave opening. There are a circle of posts for tethering animals outside the cave, which is just down a small side trail. The cave entrance looks to be quite small, so each of you, with perhaps the exception of Gummo, would have to kind of bend over to enter.
Hey, John, any of these refugees that we have with us carrying weapons?
They just have wooden staves that they've been using to sort of support themselves while they're walking.
They're walking. Okay.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, man. I can tell. You're
Yeah.
thinking exact.
It's
It's like
it could still be
it's
true.
almost like these guys are the bait, man, and they're
Yep.
like,
Let's find out.
well, let's find out. I mean, what better way to find out? Let's get right into that cave and get total party killed. 70,000
Went up.
bandits.
Yeah, I guess so. We need to tie up the camels and such, and somebody might want to stay with the camels.
I would say that. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Can I get in there with I don't want to speak for any other character, but
Yeah.
Anybody else that's stealthy want to come with me while we get up and kind of take a look around, maybe peek inside the mouth of this cave, see what's what, maybe move, 10, 15, 20 yards inside stealthily and see what I can see.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
give you, John, I'll give you a few rolls here. Well, you tell me what you want. You want obviously move silent.
Yep, you could do move silent, hide in shadows if you're trying to kind of stealth in there.
I'm also listening, so
Okay.
I'll do that as well. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you, okay. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Anyone else?
I should macro all three of those together.
Okay. So yeah. So you guys go inside the cave. Yeah. Coming up to the cave, everything seems quiet and unassuming. There's nothing that really makes you suspicious, other than the suspicions that you've already developed yourselves. There's nothing more that kind of confirms your suspicions, or dissuades you from having them. I mean, it's a small cave opening. You can see how it might be a good place to rest, because it would probably, if you had a fire in there, it would sort of definitely retain the warmth for the night.
Yeah, this is where I feel like maybe they found this cave and they weren't really referring to. Can I ask them? Like, I don't even know why I didn't do this. Were the bandits they saw from the cave? I can't believe I didn't ask them that. Can I ask them that? Where did they see these bandits? God, what the hell was I thinking? No, not from cave. Farther down. Day, perhaps.
So let me understand this. This trail we're on. To go any further, do we have to go through the cave?
No.
No, it's to the side. It's to the side of the trail.
It's a good
There's-
place to hold up, really.
There's like a sub trail, maybe 50 feet off to the side, and then there's a flat area where posts have been driven into the ground to use as tethers for animals, and then from there it's about another 30 or 40 feet to the cave entrance.
This is literally the hotel along the highway. That's what it is. So, all right.
So we got
Yeah,
two choices. We can either draw them out or go in.
Well, I don't. They said the robbers. I don't know if you heard that, but I asked them where are these robbers from, and they said they're at least a day away, and they're not from the cave. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, right before. Yeah, no, I just said it right before we started talking. You probably didn't hear it, but yeah. So, I would say get in, scope it out. That's what I mean. With the rolls, that's kind of. I would have still proceeded farther in. About how far back does it go, John? It opens up into the Underdark.
Maybe it's just big enough to rest. It's the perfect
Yep.
rest spot.
And as you're approaching the cave, it begins to snow gently.
Alright, well,
Something
It's a nice change.
very out of the ordinary. I mean, looking to the sides, you can see that there's snow farther up the slopes. So there is a bit of precipitation here. Going through, you can see inside the cave. At this point.
Okay. Inside the cave is a room of sufficient size to hold a large party. Cave walls and
out
floor
forward stubs.
shows signs of frequent use, yep. And a number of burnt out torch stubs are scattered about. Although the cave offers refuge from howling bitter winds that sweep the pass. I say we found our Motel 6 and we rest up, heal these guys, and let them be on their way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we get a ranger to check and see if there's any sign of animal life in here? If it was,
That's a
any
good
type of
point.
animal life in here?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Everything's
Uh,
comfortable except for the mountain lion in the corner.
yeah. Yeah, I guess Jeremiah, if you want to do any kind of tracking, and then we'll go from there.
Cool little session,
So,
man.
Jeremiah, you can tell that there there are some animal tracks, sort of around the periphery of the cave, sort of keeping to kind of to the walls. You think it looks kind of like vaguely like dogs, tracks left by dogs, vaguely.
They won't come back. But Cody's.
Okay. I'll pass that along. Now, you said along the walls, so none of these tracks are in the center of the room?
Well, they may very well be, but the place that's the most noticeable is sort of the 2 or 3 feet adjacent to the walls of the cave.
Are there any
All right.
are there any signs of bones or a place for like a bedding that they would have made?
Mm.
You do find a bit of like a campfire spot set out with just like a stone circle, and a small collection of wood. It wouldn't be enough for a fire for the whole night, but it would be enough for maybe an hour or two.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, let's hold up here then.
Yeah.
But I still want to keep a watch.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll
Okay.
do standard watch
How are
formation.
you? What are your watch plans?
I'll do the last time I get. I mean, I'll take last watch.
Let me check the watch order.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
there we
on
go.
last watch with you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm on first. I'm okay with that.
You could probably always do that unless we want to change it, just maintain
Yeah.
the same watch order.
I think we're still good. Yeah.
So the people who are on watch. So there's always at least 2 of you. How are you going to split yourselves up, or are you? You've got your animals tethered outside.
I guess I'll be by the animals.
Yeah, and Jeremiah will do the animals.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I would
let's see here.
say
How
both.
far away are the animals?
They're like 30 or 40 feet away from the cave opening.
Okay.
Okay, I definitely would get up. Yeah, like they're saying, get up near the animals. Probably both. That's just what I would do. We could vote on it if anyone wants to do
Okay.
it differently.
Yeah, I think that's a
There's-
good way to do it.
I mean, unless there's some secret the Hobbit entrance inside this cave, and they
It's
come
close
from
enough that
behind.
if something comes up, we can reach the entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
everybody awake. So
Yeah, and the wild animals. I mean, I think this cave's used by both people and animals, just at different times.
Yeah.
It's like the dogs sleep against the walls when they use it. When the people are there, the dogs don't come in.
yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
And bandits.
And bandits. Yeah, it's literally a hotel.
Okay, so
Comfortable, too.
while you're these 6 people, they basically just lie down and they just go to sleep once you've got the fire going. It's like they're exhausted.
Yeah,
And they all kind of huddle together for extra warmth. And before they do that, the guy that you've been talking with, Solomon, he recites something that almost kind of like perhaps a verse or something that he has. You get the impression he's more reciting something than speaking.
Beneath the large oasis in the desert lies a lost temple, buried by the shifting sands. Okay.
Beneath the what?
Beneath the large oasis in the desert lies a temple, buried by the shifting sands.
Hmm. It's a large oasis.
I guess if we run into an oasis, we'll have to
Yep.
investigate.
Yep.
Hmm.
What tales can you regale
We
me
can probably
with
ask
about
these
the...
refugees if they come across an oasis.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to the elder. Oh, let me see what else he says to me.
Oh, I think they're sleeping right now, right?
No, one of them's talking to me. The elder is
Oh,
talking to me.
okay, good.
Yeah, he was kind of reciting a verse to himself, and now it looks like he is talking directly to me. The legend tell of a demon who has been released by the old gods. He will take vengeance on the desert and the people who live there to punish those who have turned away from the cruel gods.
Yeah, no oasis is found in the desert, right?
Say again?
Oasis is found in the desert.
Yes.
Okay.
It's usually a place in the desert that has a watering hole.
But the way we're going, are we going to run
Tend to
into
be
desert again?
precious. Yeah, we're coming
Oh,
down.
so we can
Yeah,
work our way back down. Okay.
right. We're going over to the mountains to a waste that lie beyond
All right.
these
Has that guy
peaks.
encountered an oasis in his travel?
Yeah, I was gonna ask him. I was gonna say, old one, regale me with tales of the lands beyond these peaks. What news from where whence you came? And since I started the quest late, what did you guys get from the Vizier initially? Is there anything I should know about why we're heading in this direction? And I remember
The
we got a
who?
map.
The
The
Vizier.
Vizier, the Vizier.
Yeah,
Remember you guys
I want to
Oh,
give
obtained
you
a
the
map.
sorry. Yeah, was on mute. Yeah, we are looking for the Temple of Amun-Re, which we have a map showing it, which it looks to be partially buried in the sands. And so you could find our 2 maps that we got. We have like, old, like several hundred-year-old maps that are very stylized, like inscribed on like the back of goat skins. So this is the map of the tomb of Amun-Re. This is what he's sending
got
us
it.
to go. Yeah, okay, got it. Right.
Mm.
So I'm wondering if this is what's buried beneath an oasis. And then there
Great.
is map of the desert, which we haven't reached this area yet. That's what we were trying to.
I see it. This is great. They're all under uncategorized.
Yeah.
Almond Rob, yeah, Desert Cliffs. That's great. Nice.
This
Okay.
is a mountain range. The dragon, and I'm trying to think. I think I can't remember though. Is this the buried temple, or is this the buried temple?
Or is there multiple buried temples?
There's always.
So again, when I'm talking to the elder, can I tell him I'm gonna ask him, please elaborate on the great evil one. Who is this great evil one?
He's great.
He's a great evil guy.
He's evil, but he's great. Let's add this one and put it on the proper. Get another piece of notepad.
Unknown, faceless, formless, sexless. Very interesting. What's sexless, faceless, formless? Unknown. Well, it could be anything, but I mean, when referring to like entities,
Hey, John, Gunsel's got ancient history. Is that for a certain place and time?
You could give me a roll in the tower, Roger. Sure.
says ephemeral, evil, fleeting as the wind. I'm sorry, this word Ephemeral. Ephemeral?
General.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so ephemeral, evil, fleeting as the wind.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
speak in riddles, old man. Speak plain. What is it? What is this creature?
And may I suggest we also show him our maps and see if he recognizes that from his travels.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Everywhere
okay.
yet nowhere, all at once, all around us, like the wind. You'll sound a little bit frustrated with this, with the old man, but he understands that, you know, these nomadic people have the
So you
creatures
show him
inside.
the map of the desert that you
Should we?
have?
I think we
I don't
should.
see
Yes.
I don't see
Sure,
any
why not?
harm in that.
Yeah. Let's see if they recognize it. What does he say, son?
It's that valuable skin you have, because map is on a animal skin, correct?
Yeah, it's like Vellum. Yeah.
I was hoping he wasn't pulling a Buffalo Bill right there, and then I remembered that the map was on skin. Valuable hide you have on you.
So he looks at it and he points to the symbol in the bottom right hand corner, and he's
Oops, sorry about the plus sign.
Good. I see it. Yeah. So in other words, the southernmost, if we thought of this as pointing north, um, city symbol. Yeah, that symbol. Oh, what does he say?
He says, he turned at me and he said, Bazaar, city lost in sands and dust, eternity.
Yeah, that's it.
City lost in sands and dust,
and
eternity.
then he points to the other symbol, sort of on the left hand side.
Okay.
That's where the tomb is, because I was looking at both maps, and those two words appear on both.
Mhm.
Oh, really? Nice. Okay. What does he say about the good
That's a good
deduction?
find.
Okay,
That's
so
good
then that
find.
would be the westernmost symbol. Salmon?
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at a map.
It's okay.
Great sparkling temple and tomb of great king of antiquity.
Okay, that's a tomb. King of
You will
antiquity.
see it
Okay.
on a path. Here's
That's
what he
what-
said. You will see it on a path down from the dust wall in a single day.
Cool.
I'm getting excited.
It's you. This module's rad.
Nice. So yeah, this is worth, not that this was a mercenary encounter, but it's definitely we are being rewarded
Yep,
for helping these people for sure.
exactly what we wanted, dude. We should definitely heal them up.
Yep.
Pays being good sometimes.
Yep. Is there anything we should ask him if there's anything we should know about the two oasis symbol and then the let's just keep going. So he's working his way up from the south, even though we're gonna approach from the north, is what it says.
He speaks again to me.
Okay.
He says, holy men have temple for worship there. Allow only true believers to attend. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to be dealing with some religious zealots.
Yeah.
Holy men have temple for worship there. Allow only true believers to attend.
Yeah, and I'm sure we are infidels, so
Oh, we're totally infidels. They were going to set a jihad on us for sure.
okay.
I'll put a jihad on you.
Uh-oh. Oh, sometimes that happens to is it Ian? Ian, I think you're getting the squeak effect again.
He points to the dragon on your skin.
Okay, perfect. Dragon. Yeah.
Black Dragon spine of the Sully's empire still stands aeons after the colorless fire. So that Sully empire used to be the Sea of Dust, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Black Dragon spine of the Sul empire still stands eons after the colorless fire which desecrated this land.
Okay. It's interesting is I probably won't be writing it down exactly as you're saying, which is kind of appropriate, right? All right.
First watch is over. It has been uneventful. Second watch, Diesel and Jeremiah. Diesel will go out to stand with the camels. Truth be told, he feels more comfortable out there with the camels. Far too civilized inside this cave for him. Jeremiah, what about you?
I'll stand or hide next to the door,
Okay.
or at least try to hide in shadows next to the door.
Closer to the cave? Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a roll in the tower, please. Okay.
Ranger lurk.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see here.
Lurk him.
Okay.
Particular attention to the snowstorm and
Okay,
see if everything's
Jeremiah,
gonna last.
You're not really all that familiar with the pattern of temperature and weather changes in a desert, but you're pretty sure that the snowstorm is it's a gentle snow, and you think that it's probably by morning it will be finished with.
Okay.
but there will be some accumulation. And also looking, as you're on watch, looking farther to the north, you can tell that you feel that you're within half a mile of the summit of the path of the pass. So you think that in the morning, assuming that you don't have 2 or 3 feet of snow to wade through, that your journey collectively is about to probably get a little bit easier.
I was worried about the snow, but I didn't want to say anything.
If the shift goes quietly, I'll pass that along to whoever relieves us and pass it on to Diesel as well.
Okay, so with 4 watches, everybody has about 2 or 3 hours on their watch. Jeremiah, at about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours into your watch, everything is nice and quiet. I mean, you can hear the wind, but you're sheltered from it. You've picked a good spot. Um, the snow is still coming down. There is about half a foot accumulated at this point. And you all of a sudden you hear from the night sky above you. You hear sort of just a swish, swish. It reminds you of the sound that birds make when they're flying, and everything is just quiet. Sort of the whispering sound of their wings just kind of beating through the air.
I'll snap a branch, get Diesel's attention, and point upward.
Okay. Yeah, Diesel comes over to you, and just in case, so you probably don't know this, but Diesel is a Bakloonish barbarian from the northern steppes. So he's a little bit of environment here, but this is closer to what he's used to than most people in the group. Let's see here. And he spends a few moments looking up into the sky, and then sort of turns back to you and shrugs and shakes his head, and he turns and heads back towards the camels.
Just pay particular attention to the sky.
Okay.
At this point.
Right. Okay. Second watch comes to an end. Third watch, we have Island Eye and Guntag. Roger,
And
where are you going?
What was that?
Where are you going to stand your watch?
I'll go by the camels.
Okay, so Island Eye, she's well, she's a gray elf, and she's a little bit on the slighter side, so she is going to stay in the cave mouth, a little more sheltered.
Okay.
Guntag.
Okay.
All right. Third watch passes without any incident. Fourth watch. You know, Gummo, Salmon, and Banithor, you all know that, well, you think anyways, that about halfway through your watch, you're going to start getting the sun.
Yep.
And the snow
Maybe
has stopped.
outside. Right. Yeah.
You have about 8 to 10 inches of snow now that you're clomping around through.
Sure, I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
Almost
That-
like doing dwarf snow angels.
Who's
Like-
by the camels and who is elsewhere? I guess.
I'll be by the camels.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'll just be
Oh,
by
geez.
the mouth of the cave.
What watch is this?
Fourth.
Four?
The last fourth watch.
Okay.
Salmon,
Yeah.
you're all.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm definitely going to be out near the camels, but I'll try to keep a low profile. So I'll give you a hide in shadows on that.
And yeah, we are kind of looking forward to finishing our conversation. We got halfway up the map. I want to ask him about everything, for sure.
Yeah, we'll hit their sound of sleep.
So,
We'll hit them in the morning.
Fourth watch comes to an end without issue. As the sunrise is quick. In the space of about 5 minutes, you go from darkness to full sun, and as that happens, the snow starts to melt quite quickly. You can hear water running all over the place.
Okay.
The
Go inside anyway to heal the elders, right? So I memorized overnight a cure. It wouldn't actually let me do it for some reason. That's still that weird issue that I don't mind if you don't mind. I'm taking cure disease, so that's going to take one cure disease if someone else takes another, right? No.
What's the issue?
But
Right.
that it like on my it's I should be able to memorize 3 divine spells,
Mhm.
and it will only maybe that's why. Never mind. Let me go
Well,
back to prep
we
and I'll take
we
it away.
learn something new
Actually
every
did
day.
have
Yeah.
all right.
If you
So I'm
keep
gonna
it
take
on,
one.
if you have it on combat, a lot of times like people will hit the cast on combat and then it will just disappear, so they can't get to their effects. That's actually work. That's as intended. If you didn't know, just
Right.
switch it to standard. Some
It's
people are
just,
like, "Oh, it's gone. It's disappeared," and it's really
There it is.
there. It's just they're trying to help you by filtering it.
okay. Anyhow, I was wondering if we could ask about the 2 oases symbols. So if he knows, the palm trees, we can say, are these oases? Anything you should know about those?
I'll translate for him. Says, not know other map symbols. Have not
Okay.
been that far.
Okay.
Think we'll
Good enough.
maybe get these
Um,
people a couple days of food, 2 days. maybe.
Yeah. Let me try to. I'm gonna heal them first. If you'll tell them that if they will allow it, if they're okay with us, we'd like to attempt to heal what we detect is wrong with their stomachs.
Oh, I thought we did that. Sorry. Yeah, I'll relay the message.
They nod and smile and,
Okay.
and look eagerly at you.
I'm taking 1, right? So I guess I'll take the man. And here we go. I cast. All right. I don't have a target or anything, but that's going to be on the man for cure disease. And Oh, that's why I can go to combat. There it goes.
Is anyone
Okay.
else casting Cure Disease
Cure
on the
Disease
the
on the
old
lady? Yeah. Somebody else was going to take it?
Roger, right?
Roger, yeah. Yeah. Should
Okay.
be good tag. Oh, he's listed as away right now. That's all. But he said he was going to. Can we?
It looks like there's 2 cast already, so that should be enough.
Not really though.
Nope.
It's just it says it's a cast and a save. It says listed as a save. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So and good tag also cast. Okay. They visibly
Feedback.
look relieved after the two of you cast your spells. They're trying to grab your hands and kiss the back of your hand, and they're babbling sort of incoherently.
Okay. Yeah.
and-
Say
Nodding and
So yeah, no thanks are due to us. Yeah, thank only the Most High for the grace of allowing us mutual comfort, entertainment, and safety on the road. And I guess we're also going to give them some rations. Yeah.
yeah. So you've spent the night there with them. You can see that all they have in their packs are a few clothes and some sandals and a very small bundle tied together of bread and the like. You don't see any sort of there is an old knife in a leather sheath bundled away. But other than that, you don't see anything of value. They're not particularly secretive of what they're carrying. I mean, they kind of they slept all night. Seemingly confident that that nothing was going to happen to them while you were around.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's give them some I guess some dry rations. I can give them I'll toss in a ration from
As
my
will I. I'll toss him a
Sure.
day's worth.
Yeah,
So I
that's
can
a day.
drop mine. I'll drop mine to 6.
Mhm.
At 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yep, I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
3.
That should be good.
All right.
I didn't realize I had a potion of climbing too.
Let's see here. Diesel will give them a few silver pieces.
And somebody already gave 4 silver and 4 copper. I think that was Moss. Yep. Yeah.
Diesel has given him
that's
6 silver and 4 copper. About all he has in terms of coins. They are extremely thankful to you for absolutely everything.
Well, I'll relay them. I nod and tell the elder that we were very happy to help, but we must be on our way now.
Exactly.
He says, "You have saved my parents We met. See, this is what he said. You have saved my parents. We met. May yet live some years as a family.
Cool.
And I nod,
Okay.
and I look
And I guess we'll,
anxiously towards the cave door.
yeah, I guess we'll take our leave and bid them adieu, safe travels, and head the other direction. If they're still heading, they got to backtrack, I guess, a little bit to go back to
Yeah,
town.
they have to backtrack. That's what threw me off, is why they wanted to follow us to the cave, because it's the other direction.
Because it was getting late, I guess. Once we figured
Right.
it out, yeah. Okay.
Salam kada.
The old woman, as you're getting ready to leave, Solomon, she reaches under her clothes and pulls out an old, it looks like a copper amulet that's on sort of a little leather thong around her neck, and she takes it off and tries to give it to you.
Well, Salmon looks at her, he hesitates for a second, and then kind of reluctantly takes it and tells her, why? Why give me such a gift? It is obviously sentimental to you.
They're happy we saved her life.
Oh yeah, I just want to know what your kindness and help. This may help you north of the dust wall. Nice.
Awesome.
So I tell her, many thanks, and may your your journeys be safe. Have your people make their way straight to the city.
Okay, the amulet is in the party sheet.
Cool. I feel like we just heard the rupee music on Link, right? In
Yep.
Green of Zelda, not Green of Time. Yeah. It's like quest achieved. Yay.
Well, she did give it to me. You guys want to roll for it? Does anyone want to roll for it?
No,
I don't like
definitely
taking
not
items,
what it-
dude. I don't ever do that. I don't like just taking stuff without asking. So, does
Well,
anyone mind if I take it?
Banathor
No,
might be able to figure out what
Yeah,
it
put
is.
it on your inventory.
And
Yeah.
does anybody recognize anything about
Right.
the amulet? I mean, I'll take a
Like
look
the
and see.
symbol, right? Like a religion check. Let's all do religion checks.
Detect magic.
What amulet is this?
Detect magic. Does anyone have detect magic or legend lore? Do we have a bard?
Banathor might have identify.
I don't have it memorized, but I could get identify after our next rest, and
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
identify.
I'll hold on. I'll just hold on to it. It's all of ours. I'm just gonna wear it around my neck.
Okay, so
I mean,
there is a little bit more information that about the amulet that I'll give you after the game.
Okay.
Post session. There's I don't want to fumble around for 20 minutes.
No
Putting
worries.
it together right now.
So
Uh,
I'm just gonna call it the nomad, or it's the nomads. Oh, you got it named perfectly. Okay.
the amulet of safe travels.
Yeah.
North.
So-
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna say Warren.
right.
I love that.
Yeah, James, I've forgotten to update your spell list yet again. My apologies.
Oh, I'm sure you're busy.
I'm very curious. This may help you north of the dust wall. Very
So
interesting.
in the time they head off, the old people are still moving kind of slow, but you can tell that they're making better time than they were yesterday when you saw them, and they're able to walk without as much assistance from the younger teenage boys. They wave back to you, and then they sort of continue on around the bend, and you don't see them anymore. In the time that it takes you to get ready and have a little bit to eat, about half of the snow that has fallen has melted. Thankfully, it all seems to flow off the trail to either side, and you kind of have water trickling down the side of the mountain to either side of the path.
Yeah,
Heading
doesn't
on,
snow.
unless anyone has anything else they want to do.
Nope, we should roll. I mean,
I will proceed.
So, you now know that you have you're at about 9,000 feet elevation.
Yours are gonna
So
pop.
the air is cold and crisp, despite the sun, and a little bit more of a travel. You come to a spot here. And I do not like the way this module is put together in Fantasy Grounds. It's very difficult to use, so I have to keep referring to my PDF.
You're doing great.
So you kind of at this point you feel like you continue to move forward, and all of a sudden you realize you're walking on level ground, more or less. Like you're no longer heading upwards, and looking forward, you can see that the trail in front of you is sloping downwards. You feel like you've come to the crest.
Yep.
And off in the distance, you're not really sure how far away it is, but let's see here. Off in the distance, to the northwest, there is something reflecting the sunlight, and whatever it is sparkles in the distance, like a large gem reflecting light through its many facets all over the place. You're not sure how far away you are, but you know you're not close. Like, we're talking many miles away, and yet you can see this sparkle beckoning in the distance, and it kind of seems like it might be in the direction that you were told that where there was a tomb.
So it's leveled out, and it's actually starting to descend. Correct? The path is starting to descend. We're starting to slope downward. But right now we're on a sort of plateau, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yes.
Okay, how far does the plateau continue on before it starts to go downhill?
Well, you've got maybe half a mile.
Okay. And then the farthest that I can see, looking out towards the horizon, what can I see? Farthest I believe north is north on this map, correct?
Yes.
So northwest. I'm gonna look out as far as I can northwest. What do I see in that direction?
Well, I mean, you see in the distance the trail looks like it winds its way down from the plateau with a series of switchbacks, kind of like you had on the way up.
Mhm.
And it looks like all you can see beyond the end of the pass is kind of like a yellowish golden sand as far as you look.
Oh,
With the exception of whatever this thing is to the northwest that is sparkling like a big jewel, kind of
and-
almost beckoning to you.
okay. And does Salmon know this area? I mean, does he know this as like the Great Waste, or is there a name for obviously a desert, massive desert below? Does he know the area at all? Has he ever been here?
Um, the only you have not traveled this far.
Hmm.
You do know the dialect that the nomads and the some of the people that still live here use, but it's not like you have significant knowledge of what is where.
Understood. Yeah, he knows of it. He's just never been here. He is a little bit familiar with some of the tells. He knows that there's a great desert there.
Yes, absolutely.
I point towards the something, something shines like a diamond in the sky. Look there on the horizon. I just point in that direction.
Maybe someone should.
We'll need to note
Research
its direction
photography.
because I'm sure when we come down, it might be lost to view again because we're at 9,000 feet up here. And,
Anybody got a spyglass worth 100,000 GP?
Yeah.
You ever looked at that in the player's handbook? It's hilarious. It's like quite a bit of gold for that sucker.
And you can in the distance. I mean, these are little dots of darkness against the backdrop of the yellowish golden sand. You can see um, maybe like a small group, maybe a caravan of some kind, moving towards the dust wall in the distance.
Mm. Well,
so another future encounter, yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously the allure of the sparkling city or mirage in front of me is really driving Salmon in that direction. I mean, his mind is made up to proceed in that direction.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay. You also notice that above these dots that are moving, that there are three dots um, in the sky above them that seem to be moving in kind of a general circular pattern.
Say again, John. I'm sorry. We see three dots in the sky.
In the
Yeah.
sky, kind of moving roughly above uh, that group or whatever it is, kind of in a circular pattern.
Interesting.
Probably buzzards, right? Desert.
It's gotta be bigger than that. Way bigger. Yeah, if we're seeing a caravan as dots and then we're seeing something above them like that. And they're not diving down, they're just circling them as they travel across the desert.
Correct.
How long do we want to, or how long are we been observing this for?
Just maybe 5 minutes. I mean,
Well,
it's
We'll just
readily
travel
apparent
with
as you're looking down into the valley, beyond from the from the heights.
Okay.
let's see how far we can get. So according to our to the old man, right? is that we would get there. Okay, why did I have that written down? Yeah, you will see it on a path down from the dust wall in a single day.
Yep.
Yeah,
And we've been going probably just like a few hours, so
yeah. I wonder if that's what he meant. Is we'll
I'm
see
sure
it,
it is.
or we can get there. Yeah,
I'm sure that's
Right.
what he meant.
Yeah,
Yep.
you
It'll
come
be within
down,
sight. Yeah.
Yep.
and the farther north you go, the like your slope starts off pretty steep, like it was towards the end of going up, and then the farther north you go, it sort of levels out a little bit, and it's a little more gentle, shall we say.
Okay.
And eventually you come to the end of the pass,
What do you think, guys?
and you would be consider yourselves north of the dust wall. And
All right.
let me see here.
We cleared the dust wall.
Here we go. So, looking at the big overland map,
Maps are great.
you can
Loudly
kind of
style. Like it. These old hex maps.
there we go. You can kind of think that you sort of have gone like this.
All right.
And you are now
The other side.
almost right here.
So it's like 4 miles as the crow flies, but obviously much harder.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. We've cleared these foothills and haunted mountain ranges.
Has the temperature gone back up as we kind of made our more rapid descent?
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
It's now quite warm again.
Right. So
I
somewhere.
look at the
probably-
dwarf and I like
Well,
the
what I'm
plate.
gonna say is somewhere around 4,000 feet or so. Right when it becomes obviously uncomfortable, then I'll say, "Hey, can we take a 10-minute break? I need to change into the other armor." So I think
Absolutely. Okay.
So I'm gonna put back on my brigandine. Okay. Before we travel further. Okay. Inventory.
Sure.
There
And
we
as you travel, let's see here. Once you get off of the stone and the shale and the boulders and everything, it's real easy to sort of pick up trails. In fact, can easily see that.
So the prince are far from extinct. Okay. The
Right,
dust
and then
wall.
you travel north another couple of miles, and at the place where the track makes a turn, kind of to the northwest, you see this.
Give me 1 second.
Thin tall pole marks the way.
And the bangles act kind of like wind chimes. So you sort of hear wind chimes before you see anything, and they kind of draw you forward. in the direction that turns out to be the track, the direction that the track takes.
Give me 1 second to read this.
Pretty convenient.
And as you get to the post, you can see that the bangles are highly polished silver, and despite that they're out in the elements, being subjected to wind and blown sand constantly, they do not appear to have been dulled or tarnished in any way.
Interesting.
Maybe they're because they're sandblasted all the time. It could be
Yeah.
keep some.
We've reached Main Street. This is literally the Main Street and Fifth Avenue
Yeah.
right here.
Well, let's follow the trail. Yeah.
Okay. This is another one of those non-combat sessions, my everyone. Let's see here.
But extremely fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exploring.
So, for
I love it.
for traversing the dust wall, everyone gets 500 XP. And we will continue. You see a slightly different landscape just to your immediate west, like a few miles away. Ask me about that next time.
Okay.
The sand.
Yeah.
It's sand, but it looks like, even from a distance, it looks a little different somehow. Like maybe a different consistency, or perhaps a different color, or composition. Perhaps.
Dwemer active stand that we've been worrying about. Yeah. Or whatever. But that was really cool. That was very satisfying, being able to help the travelers and picking up the copper pendant, whatever that is.
And getting some intel from them.
Yeah.
Major good info.
Yeah, super
Worth it.
fun, man. I always love these games. I can play all night. 3 hours is actually good, though. All right, you guys. Well, I will talk to you tomorrow. I guess we're gonna play TOEE tomorrow. So
Are we good?
I'm actually picking up Dwayne's character.
Yeah.
For
He's gonna
that
take care
one.
of Vexeldor for me.
I will
Excellent.
keep him safe. I hope. But it is 2E. Actually, bad rolls happen. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. All right, gentlemen. Well, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, John, very
Yes,
much.
thank
Oh, good night.
Later, guys.
Cheers.
And good night, all.
Yeah.
And thank you again for having me.
I'm sorry. What was your name again?
My real name's Jamie.
Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Hopefully a non-combat session didn't put you off.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get a feel for the party and them for me too. So it's all good. I'll start talking more. I'm usually a lot more active, but I'm just trying to see what's what.
No worries.
No worries. Thank you for making it out, everyone. Well, I guess most people disconnected already.
Thanks, John.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
Hey, John.
Got you. Trade.
That she hasn't quite got rid of yet. And
tears don't shape change.
Exactly. And just says, "You must be so happy. I'm so happy for you."
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he is able to come with us. He's he's able to transform into something